The story of ancient Egypt unfolds along the banks of the Nile, a river whose yearly floods nourished the land, sustained its people, and shaped a civilization that would endure for more than 3,000 years. From humble beginnings to the construction of monumental pyramids, from the glory of the pharaohs to the wisdom of scribes, the history of ancient Egypt is a tapestry woven with ambition, innovation, and enduring mysteries. Before we continue our journey down the Nile, make sure to subscribe to the History Alchemists and like this video so we can keep bringing history's greatest stories to life. Your support helps us uncover more forgotten worlds and legendary civilizations. Now, let's step back over 5,000 years to where it all began. It all began around 3100 BCE, when the legendary King Narmer, also known as Menes, unified Upper and Lower Egypt. This moment marked the dawn of the early dynastic period, a time when the first pharaohs emerged as both rulers and gods, wielding absolute power over their kingdom. Hieroglyphic writing appeared, allowing the Egyptians to record their achievements, beliefs, and daily life. Cities blossomed along the Nile, and society began to take shape, with priests, craftsmen, farmers, and soldiers contributing to the nation's strength. As centuries passed, Egypt entered the Old Kingdom, spanning from around 2686 to 2181 BCE. This era is best remembered for the construction of the Great Pyramids of Giza, colossal tombs meant to house the bodies and spirits of the pharaohs. The most famous of these, the Pyramid of Khufu, rises above the desert as a testament to human ingenuity and the desire for immortality. The pharaohs of the Old Kingdom were seen as living gods, intermediaries between the people and the divine. Their court was a place of opulence, filled with gold, jewels, and the finest artistry. Yet, it was not only grandeur that defined this period. Complex bureaucracy, efficient agriculture, and skilled laborers all contributed to its success. But even the mightiest dynasties experienced decline. The Old Kingdom collapsed under the weight of drought, economic hardship, and internal strife. Egypt fragmented, and local rulers vied for control in a period known as the First Intermediate Period. Chaos reigned for over a century until new leaders emerged in Thebes, ready to restore order and unity. The Middle Kingdom, beginning around 2055 BCE, marked a renaissance for Egypt. With strong pharaohs like Mentuhotep II and Senusret III, the nation flourished anew. The government reorganized, irrigation systems were repaired, and trade expanded beyond Egypt's borders. Literature and art thrived, capturing both the joys and sorrows of daily life. The Middle Kingdom pharaohs were more approachable, depicted not only as gods, but as wise and caring rulers mindful of their people's needs. Yet, once again, Egypt faced instability. The Second Intermediate Period saw the arrival of the Hyksos, foreign invaders from the northeast, who introduced horses and chariots to Egyptian warfare. While their rule was resented, it spurred Egyptians to adapt and innovate. Eventually, native rulers from Thebes rose up, driving out the Hyksos and reclaiming their land. The New Kingdom, Egypt's golden age, began around 1550 BCE and lasted for nearly 5 centuries. It was a time of empire, wealth, and cultural achievement. Pharaohs like Ahmose I, Hatshepsut, Thutmose III, Amenhotep III, and Ramesses II expanded Egypt's borders through conquest and diplomacy. The capital moved to Thebes, where massive temples rose up to honor the gods. Karnak and Luxor still stand as icons of ancient architecture. One of the most remarkable rulers of this era was Hatshepsut, a woman who declared herself pharaoh and reigned for over 20 years. She commissioned great building projects, established trade routes, and brought prosperity to Egypt. Her successor, Thutmose III, proved a brilliant general, leading his armies to victory in the Levant and Nubia. Religion was at the heart of Egyptian life. The pantheon of gods, Ra, Osiris, Isis, Anubis, and many more, shaped every aspect of existence. Temples, rituals, and festivals honored the divine, while the journey to the afterlife was prepared with careful mummification, and elaborate tombs. The Egyptians believed that death was a passage, not an end, and that the soul could live forever if the body was preserved and the proper spells were recited. In the midst of this grandeur came a period of radical change. Akhenaten, a pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, proclaimed that there was only one god, the sun disk Aten. He closed temples, moved the capital to a new city, and rewrote religious tradition. His reign was short-lived, and after his death, Egypt returned to its old gods. Akhenaten's son, Tutankhamun, is famous not for his rule, but for his dazzling tomb, discovered almost intact in the 20th century. Ramses II, known as Ramses the Great, became Egypt's most celebrated pharaoh, ruling for 66 years. He built magnificent temples, negotiated peace with the powerful Hittites, and left his mark on every corner of Egypt. His reign symbolized the height of Egyptian power and artistry, with monuments like Abu Simbel carved into cliffs along the Nile. Yet as the new kingdom waned, Egypt faced new threats. Foreign powers pressed at its borders, and internal strife weakened the pharaohs. The Third Intermediate Period and the Late Period saw Egypt divided by rival dynasties, invaded by Libyans, Nubians, Assyrians, and Persians. Each conqueror left their mark, blending cultures and traditions. Despite these challenges, Egypt remained a center of learning and spirituality. Its priests preserved ancient wisdom, its scribes recorded history, and its artisans continued to create wonders. The final chapter of ancient Egypt came with the arrival of Alexander the Great in 332 BCE. The Macedonian conqueror was welcomed as a liberator, and his general Ptolemy established a Greek dynasty that would rule for 3 centuries. During the Ptolemaic era, Egypt's capital shifted to Alexandria, a city renowned for its lighthouse library and cosmopolitan culture. Greek and Egyptian traditions mingled, producing advances in science, philosophy, and art. The last ruler of ancient Egypt was Cleopatra VII, a woman of extraordinary charisma and intelligence. She sought to preserve her kingdom amid the rising power of Rome, forging alliances and facing formidable foes. Yet, after her dramatic defeat, Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire, and the age of the pharaohs came to an end. The legacy of ancient Egypt endures in its monuments, its writings, and its influence on world civilization. The pyramids stand as eternal guardians of the desert, while the stories of Ramses, Hatshepsut, and Cleopatra continue to fascinate. For over 3,000 years, Egypt forged a unique and vibrant culture, one that valued wisdom, beauty, and the mysteries of life and death. From the banks of the Nile to the halls of power, from the temples of Luxor to the sands of Giza, the history of ancient Egypt is a journey through time, a testament to human imagination, resilience, and the enduring quest for immortality.